Kamala Harris slamming the Trump administration during her book tour. You gotta watch this and listen too.
We are living history right now. And you all as storytellers are living this. You're not passive observers, you know that. Back to my point about helping people just put a label on it, even if it doesn't change the circumstance. Because there's so much about this moment that is trying to make people feel like they've lost their minds. When in fact, these are crazy.
Wow. An obscenity and a word salad mixed into one. Not bad, I'd say. Deroy Murdock. That was some language, wasn't it, Deroy?
Yeah, sort of a blue word salad, right?
Yeah, good one.
How about that? Yeah, no, it's amazing. And of course, this is not unusual. In the last few, I'd say pretty much since the election in November, we've seen Democrats coming out and using a lot of foul language, a lot of F-bombs, this sort of thing. That used to be off limits. You keep it clean, keep it family rated. And there she is dropping not just the F-bomb, but the MF bomb. And what a great opportunity when she's there in that public forum to come up with an idea. You know, hey, here's something that the congressional Democrats ought to do, or maybe here's a great way to get out of the shutdown. Instead of leading like that, we just get profanity out of the erstwhile.
Why did they do that? Did they do it because they want to be close to the people, the way the people speak, so you got dropped?
I think the idea is that they do that, that's cool and hip and youthful or whatever it is, and I don't know. I'm not sure that convinces people. I think people would rather see her lead in terms of saying, here's a way out of the shutdown, or here's a new idea for us to follow, or hey, why don't we try this different approach on public policy? She's still active in public policy. That's what she ought to be talking about.
I'd really like to see a turnaround in public discourse.
Yeah, I think less profanity, more public policy is what I'd suggest.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you hear some foul language on the street, all in... Oh, I was almost meant to say.
Almost.
Yeah, right. Okay, right. Next one, Deroy. Virginia Attorney General candidate Jay Jones cancelling a fundraiser for this week after the scandal over the resurfaced violent text messages. Democrat Virginia Senator, that would be Tim Kaine. Now, he's defending Jones. Watch this.
Jay has apologized. The statements that he made were indefensible, but I've known Jay Jones for 25 years. I think those statements were not in character, and he has apologized. I wish other people in public life would sincerely apologize for stuff. So no, I still am a supporter.
Senator Warner, do you want Jay Jones to drop out of the race in Virginia?
They haven't actually explained to people what the issue is or why they vote for that guy. They just sent him on vacation.
Do you want the donation returned? Are those comments acceptable?
Senator Warner, do you want Jay Jones to drop out?
So obviously this guy that we're talking to tomorrow, we want him to get insight to that.
That sounds to me like an absolute non-response. I mean, just keep walking. Do you think that Jones will exit the race in the near future?
I don't think he needs to. I mean, so far the Democrats are standing behind him. I don't believe any prominent Democrat in Virginia, or even perhaps nationally, has said they ought to drop out of the race. Republicans have said that, but Democrats haven't. Here's what I wonder if he becomes Attorney General. Remember what the comments he made are really disgusting. This is in reference to Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert at the time, back August 2022. He said, quote, 3 people, two bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets in the head, okay? 2 bullets to the head. Disgusting, nasty stuff. Let's say he becomes Attorney General and he has to announce the police have just arrested John Doe, who put 2 bullets in somebody's head. And he makes that comment. What are people going to say? Oh, you mean kind of like you said in that text message back in 2022? He's going to be in a situation where if anybody gets shot twice in the head, people are going to say, oh, yeah, kind of like you mentioned in that comment. So I think it really weakens him as a potential prosecutor to go after people who are murderers or people who are shooting people in their heads when he, in fact, has fantasized about that sort of thing, not just whispering to somebody in an elevator quietly, but putting that out there and then have the entire Democrat establishment continue to defend him. It's really appalling.
He'll be out if the Democrats believe that it's hurting their chances in the Virginia gubernatorial election. At that point, he's out. Deroy, thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it.